work continues on Melly's Rebel, and we don't have a lot of time this evening after work, so we're going to try and get at least loosely done up the controls. And still waiting on some parts to come in. I ordered a new clutch cable because I didn't like the way the original clutch cable was mangled and kind of stretched out. So I ordered one from Bike Bandit that was actually for the 87, and we'll see what the difference is in length and see if my theory holds true. Well, we're not reusing our grips here, so Melly is razor blading them off because they're really hard and brittle rubber. Well, not too brittle, I guess, but we got our nice new Biltwell knockoffs from MGO, and we're going to use those. But we got to reuse the throttle sleeve here. We're just going to have to like loosely do up the stuff on the handlebars. Since we've disconnected most of the cables and stuff, we can worry about those when we get the clutch cable coming in. So we're just we're rough fitting everything together here. First thing here is got to get these plastic plugs out of the end of the handlebars, so you got somewhere for your nifty bar end mirrors to mount. While Melly's doing that, I'll show you what we got here. Got Bike Master, though honestly I think they're actually made by MGO and they're just repackaged with Bike Master on there. It doesn't really matter. They're all aluminum. They look just like the mirrors on a Triumph Thruxton. Melly wanted black mirrors. Melly got black mirrors. But you can see all the pieces, parts are hanging from where we stopped the other day. And one of the things that a lot of people recommended for us to do here is file down the tabs. But on our switch gear here on the Rebel, there's not really a tab that's plastic. It has these metal tabs here. And I'm going to see if we can't just bend them over a little bit with a pair of pliers. We should be able to get that to clamp down on there pretty good without drilling, because everyone was like, no, don't drill the bars, you'll regret it. And MGO kind of leaves this little bit of the bar bare metal for the throttle tube, so we need to put just a little bit of grease on that, mainly just so it doesn't rust up. Alright, before we start rough fitting this stuff up here, we gotta get some pliers, and on both of these switch guys here, see this one has that metal tab down in there. We gotta bend that down. We may just end up bending it back and forth until it snaps right off, but this is why we would have had to drill the hole.
Right.
But as people have been telling me, the hole's really just there for the factory to be able to mount the controls very quickly and always get them lined up the same way. But you don't need them for aftermarket handlebars, so we're just gonna take those tabs out. Yeah, if you could just break that dude right off, that'll be perfect, because it'll probably be just enough. You want a little hand there to hold that out of your way. Melly's like, nope, screw you, I got this. Just my bike.
Hands off, eh?
It's gonna, see, gone. It's a good thing it's not sharp. There are tires around here, woman. If I get a flat, I'll know who to blame. Yep. Then it wraps around it. It's like almost like a little pulley kind of deal. There you go. Now we should be able to weasel that onto the end of the bar. Probably got just enough wire. You can, if you need to start those screws back on there. There you go. I'll hold that.
Nope.
It was a little bit of a stretch. You got a little tiny bit of slack, you can do it. There you go. I pull that apart a little bit as you're sliding it up there, so we're not just galling the crap out of it. That's good enough for now. Start the screws in there a little bit, and we'll fiddle that together after you just try and get one screw started. Somebody's watching you. Want a screwdriver?
Yep.
Okay. What's that?
Nurse, please.
Screwdriver.
Thank you.
Screwdriver. Probably just till they start biting. They don't have to, because it needs to stay loose so we can kind of move stuff around. So, got your clutch lever. We don't have the cable, but you can put it on. Hey, this is the first time we shot at night here. You see our festive lights for our... It's so festive out, Melly. What's that?
I said plugs go there. Okay.
Come on now, this is serious business.
Get serious. Okay.
Yeah, that's correct.
Are you sure? Okay.
Well, because remember the side with the threaded hole in it faces up, because that's where the mirror used to mount. But you got nifty bar end mirrors, so we're going to plug that off with those bolts that I cut down for you. From our specialty fastener shop, aka my basement. Because we got to adjust all that stuff when the cable comes in anyhow, because it's not here yet. Yeah, that's all yet to move. And we don't want to move it around too much or it'll gall up your paint. So on this side, the only other thing you got left to do is to push a grip on. You got to flip it over. Yeah, the one with the smaller opening goes on the non-throttle side.
Throttles.
Yeah, because the bigger one's got to fit over the sleeve. Let's see if Melly remembers what Dell did in Dell's video. So I'll help brace the bike here, Mel. Let's give it the old wiggle. Look at it go. You got pushed too.
Yeah, pushing.
Oh, it ain't gonna be easy. Like I said, if this doesn't work, you can use the old hack on it trick and push on this part up and then kind of work back and forth between the two. Because as a kid, when we put new grips on our bikes, or like a mountain bikes, we just used to spit on them and they'd slide right on. After much finagling, it is on. That looks cool. Now you gotta do another one.
Oh, okay.
But this one's easier because this one goes on the throttle sleeve, so you don't have to do it on the bike. So you gotta put the grip on the throttle sleeve, the plastic part we just extracted from you. This one is the gross one for sure, Mel, because without a doubt, you're gonna have to spit.
Okay.
In the end of that, dude, because if you push on that too hard, you'll crack the throttle sleeve. Yes. And we don't want to crack the end of the throttle sleeve. I'm in your light. Plus, I think this might be the last thing we're going to get done tonight because we're running out of daylight here.
Yep.
So. I got a turd. All right. You can do it, Mel. Well, don't blow your good spit. It doesn't need to have a long oyster in it. It's just got to be a little spit, you know. There you go. Right out the end. Well, don't fling all your good slobber out. You gotta.
Yeah.
People are gonna be appalled. You did what?
All right.
So I think the best way to do that. Nope, not on a bike. What you're gonna do is put this end against the workbench here, or and just kind of push down on it. You may have to. You may need more slobber
Yeah, it's all out.
The only other method to doing that without glue is using dish soap. And trust me, just a little bit of slobber is enough to make that dude. Same deal as before. Just kind of hold it at the bottom and just push on the top, straight down. There you go. Keep going. You may have to move your hand on the bottom up a little bit there. Shove! Put your back into it, woman! It'll go. It should go all the way almost down to that collar.
I'm working up more spit if I need it.
Exactly. You're pushing the end of the grip down and you're letting air and your slobber help that sucker get down. Still got a little ways to go. What you could do is you could check the open end that you're performing CPR on.
Yeah.
And it won't seat all the way down on there, right? Probably last, I don't know, quarter inch will hang out. And since this is like watching paint dry, I'm gonna pause the camera while you slobber and push and get that sucker on there. Well, after much wrestling by the both of us, and thanks to Melly's slobber, we now have a throttle tube on here that didn't break. These are weird grips. They're it's actually like a grip inside of a grip. There's like 2 layers of rubber. They're nice and cushy, but man, they are a bear to load on there. All right, last thing for the night, and we're not going to be able to do anything else because we're running out of light. I have this special grease that's made for mountain bikes, made by a company called Finish Line, and they actually get this in the light. They actually make this stuff for motorcycles too, but I had this. It's grip shift lubricant. It's made to lube the inside of your mountain bike gear shifting assembly and all that. So we're going to be using this to lubricate some of the parts and the switches, but for now, what you're going to do, Mel, here is just squirt like a line, do a line of, you know, about yay long. Yeah, from there over, and just squirt one line of it and then smear it around with your finger all the way around there. Just because that's bare metal, this tiny little bit of grease. I mean, normally on if it was like an aluminum bar, you wouldn't need it, but with the fact that it's a steel bar and MGO decided not to finish the end of that bar, we need some kind of grease on there. I'm sure just having the throttle working back and forth is going to keep it from rusting, but it's always nice to have a little bit on there just so it doesn't. And it's kind of a, I think it's a silicone based grease. It's not white lithium grease.
Just all the way around?
Yep, all the way around. Then you can slide the grip on, and then we're going to have to stop for night because we're running out of daylight, so we'll have to continue this. Every day a new part goes on. Well, not every day, but every day we get to work on it. It's probably good enough. And I think there's a paper towel behind you can wipe off on that. Twist that on there as you're sliding it, just so you can distribute your grease. There you go. Yeah, it won't go all the way out.
Okay.
Yep. And just twist it around a couple of times, make sure it moves free. And your bike has a nice push-pull throttle on it, so it should always return back. Can I check it real quick, see how it feels? Oh yeah, that's perfect right there. And we'll use that same grease to grease up the end where the cables go, and the part where it touches the inside of the housing. But that's it for now. We did as much as we could in probably about an hour I've been out here. But until we fall back in time for the fall, it's hard to get enough daylight on the weekdays after work to work on a bike, but we got the grips on. So, and you got part of the switching on. I don't know how well this appears in the night, but that looks pretty cool. I know that these are Johnny Cactus approved grips. He thought they looked really cool, and I have to agree. So another good job, Mel. Time to clean up and then call it a night. Yay!
I'd get it one piece at a time, and it wouldn't cost me a dime. You'll know it's me when I come through your town. I'm gonna ride around in style, I'm gonna drive everybody wild, 'cause I'll have the only one there